Hey guys, my name is Matsumo, and welcome to our episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you, the viewer, can submit your gaming-related questions, and then I will give my humble opinion on them. To get the formalities out of the way real quick, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below, or by sending me a Facebook or Twitter message. The first question for today is, did you hear that Ela is going to get nerfed again after this most recent patch? Yeah, I actually did hear about that, and I'm incredibly excited about that news. So I'm sure you guys already know that Ela is going to be seeing some small nerfs with the mid-season reinforcement, which is just around the corner. They're reducing her mag size from 50 rounds down to 40, and they're also making some small adjustments to the way that her gadget works. And while this is a nice step in the right direction, a lot of people, me included, criticize Ubisoft for not going far enough. What surprised me about their announcement, though, is that Ubisoft agrees with us on this one, and they have every intention of nerfing her further after the mid-season reinforcements. They basically admitted that these changes are not going to be enough to put her in line with all the other operators, and that she's still going to be overpowered. Now, the question I'm hoping you're asking is, well, wait a second. If they think that she's going to be overpowered after the mid-season reinforcements, well, why don't they go further with these nerfs? That doesn't make any sense. Well, the main reason why they're doing this is that there is a Rainbow Six Siege Pro Invitational tournament just around the corner. They don't want to make any dramatic changes to the meta. Ela is clearly in the meta right now, because that would require the pro players to adapt and change their strategy right before the Invitational, and that wouldn't be fair to them. And so because of this, they're only making small adjustments and pretty much admitting that this is a band-aid fix. And so what I find interesting about all of this is, on the one hand, I can absolutely see where they're coming from. They are serious about the pro scene, and they don't want to do anything that would massively disrupt it in a negative way, and a part of me can respect that. The other part of me, though, is a little disappointed. They're pretty much accommodating for less than 1% of their player base and letting everyone else just kind of have to deal with an overpowered Ela for the foreseeable future. We don't know when they're going to be making any more of these nerfs to Ela. I mean, they basically stated that it's going to happen, but when is it going to happen? Are we going to have to wait another couple of months? Are we going to have to wait, another 6 months? I doubt that. I would imagine it's going to be for the next big patch. But it's just like, okay, you're putting a band-aid fix on an operator that's clearly overpowered, and the only reason why you're not nerfing her anymore, even though you think that she's still gonna be overpowered, is because of the pro scene. It does kind of rub me the wrong way, but once again, I can see where they're coming from. All in all, though, I'm incredibly excited about this news. While we don't know the exact details of what they're going to be changing to Ela after the mid-season reinforcements, the fact that they've admitted that she's overpowered, even apologized that she's overpowered, that was something that I was not expecting. They pretty much apologized for keeping Ela in the state that she is for so long. It's a breath of fresh air, and I cannot wait to see what changes they have in store for her in the future. One thing I think is worth mentioning, though, before we jump on over into the next question, is that they also addressed in this statement why they're nerfing Twitch. You guys probably heard that they're reducing the round count of her shocks from 15 down to 5 per drone, so 10 total between the two of her drones. That's a pretty significant change. Now, the reason why they're doing this is that apparently Twitch is in a really good spot right now. She's very powerful. Maybe not as overpowered as Ela, for example, but according to their statistics, they have a lot to pull on. She's pretty much outperforming a lot of the attacking operators. Her KD, her pick rate, and her win rates are apparently way too good right now, and that's why they're making that adjustment. The thing is, though, is that that might not be the only change that they make to Twitch. Because she is so strong right now, they're going to watch the nerf to her Twitch drone, but if that doesn't go far enough, they have every intention of also nerfing her F2, her primary weapon. They stated that the F2 is arguably one of the best weapons in the game. Maybe Ela has that throne right now, but at least for the offensive side, because it hits really hard, it has a crazy high RPM, manageable recoil, kind of like Ela, it's a force to be reckoned with. And so because of this, they might also nerf the F2 in the future just to kind of tone down her effectiveness. And so I'm really curious to see what's going to happen to her in the next couple of months. Who knows, maybe the nerf to her drone is going to be the perfect solution, and it's going to have the desired effect where it's going to put her in line with all the other operators where her KD, pick rate, and win rate are going to drop and be well balanced. I highly doubt it, and if that doesn't actually happen, we're going to see some adjustments to her primary weapon, which I don't think are going to be very popular, but we're just going to have to wait and see. The next question comes from Max, and it is, because team killing is such a big thing in Rainbow Six Siege, do you think that they should add in reflective damage? So the thing about team killing is that there isn't a simple solution to it, but I do agree with you that something needs to be done in Ubisoft to try to take some more steps to combat this problem. I don't play on console, but from what I've heard from what you guys have told me is that it can ruin the experience. Team killing is so rampant when you're playing on some game modes or in some ranks or even just in casual in general that you're just not even playing the game because of these toxic players. That, I think, is something that Ubisoft needs to address. And so one way they could go about it is with your suggestion with the reflective damage. The way it would work for anyone who doesn't understand the reflective damage is that if you are team killing someone, let's say you shoot someone right in the dome, you will take that full damage as well. So if you want to take out one of your teammates, you're effectively taking yourself out as well. And so the hope is that these toxic players, you know, they don't want to be at the spawn screen. They don't want to have to watch. They want to play the game. That's not why they're TKing. And so if there was this system in place, if they really want to TK, they're going to also have to kind of suffer those same repercussions. Now, the issues with this suggestion, though, is that this would have rippling effects throughout the gameplay that I don't know if a lot of people would be on board with. Accidents happen in Rainbow Six Siege. I know you guys have experienced this if you play this game for any extended period of time, where a teammate randomly walks in front of you. You didn't mean to shoot them, they didn't mean to walk in front of you, like these things just happen. And if it's a 2v1 situation and you accidentally take out your teammate, which, you know, reflective damage also takes you out, you lose that game because of that. That's going to be incredibly frustrating. Or better yet, at the start of a game, you guys have probably shot at drones, a teammate walked in front, and you accidentally did 50% of their health. Well, now you're also down to 50 HP. That's going to be pretty rough for your team to win that match. You're already at a bigger disadvantage than you already would have been before. And so by trying to solve the TK problem, you're implementing something that is going to impact a wider player base that isn't even trying to team kill. Your solution, while it might help, is going to have wider repercussions that I don't really think is going to enhance the gameplay and honestly would probably be more of a detriment. I think one of the biggest problems with regard to this is that it just comes down to the community itself. I've heard a lot of cases where I talk to people and I'm reading on forums where they say, oh, I don't team kill, except when this happens, when my teammate does this or that. So they always give themselves some sort of excuse that puts them in the right to team kill. And I think right there is one of the bigger issues. This just compounds on itself. If you take someone out at the start of the match for whatever reason, even if you think it's justified, they're really likely the next round to do the exact same thing to you. The next round after that, your teammates might try to help out and start to TK, and it just becomes this giant mess where at the beginning of, you know, the final couple of rounds, there's like 2 people left. It's kind of like this culture that starts to compound on itself, and I think that is the real issue there. And while I absolutely think that Ubisoft needs to do more to solve this problem, I don't think all the blame lies on them. Maybe this is wishful thinking, but I just think the community needs to do better to rise above it and not give into that toxicity. The next question comes from Manuel, and it is, do you think that when you shoot out a lamp in Siege, it should be destroyed instead of blinking for a second and then getting back to normal? For the most part, I believe that they prevent players from concentrating when they maintain a position instead of providing any kind of usefulness. Well, at least for me personally, I would love this change. There are some lights on certain maps that are really frustrating because I think they were designed from the ground up to actually obscure your vision. If you're on Theme Park, for example, and it's nighttime, if you're trying to look through one of the windows near the initiation room, there's a lamp or a light fixture that is blinding and right in your face, and it makes it really hard to see if an enemy is anywhere near that window. If I had the ability to quickly take it out and no longer have that obstruction, that would be awesome for me. Thing is, though, is as I kind of said, I think these were designed from the very ground up to obstruct your vision. That's the only thing I can think of for why they're placed in these really annoying locations. They don't want offense to be able to have that awesome spot to be able to look into the objective or to look into that certain room, and so they've added in these little light fixtures to make it a bit harder. That's the only thing I can think of. The counter-argument to this, though, is that there are some daytime maps where those lights are no longer an obstruction to your vision. And so it really makes me question, is it done for gameplay balance, or is it done for purely cosmetic, atmospheric reasons? If it is because of the latter, I think that we should have the ability to take out those lights. If it's really just to make the map feel more immersive, well, how much more immersive would it be if we had more control over our environments? If we were able to take out those light fixtures and no longer have that obstruction, that would be awesome. But if it is because of gameplay, then I could see why they wouldn't make that change. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's episode of Sunday Mailbox. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know what you thought about what we discussed in today's video. Are you excited that Ubisoft is going to be making some more changes to Ella? Are you a little bit worried that they might be making more nerfs to Twitch? Let me know down below in the comment section. As always, if you would like to submit your own question for an upcoming episode, you can also leave a comment down below or by sending me a Facebook or Twitter message. But until tomorrow, guys, have a good one and take it easy.